Today we're going to finish up page 18 in our functions packet, and we're going to evaluate a few more functions. So here we're going to consider the function f of x equals 3x minus 1. Number one says we want f of 2 plus f of negative 3. So I'm going to do each separately, and then I'll combine my answers for a final answer at the end. So f of 2 means I'm going to take 3x minus 1 and plug 2 in it. So it's going to be 3 times 2 minus 1. 3 times 2 is 6, minus 1 is 5. F of negative 3 means I'm going to plug negative 3 in for x. 3 times negative 3 gives me negative 9, minus 1 gives me negative 10. Now I'm going to take my answer, so f of 2 is 5, plus f of negative 3 is negative 10. So 5 plus negative 10 is just like saying 5 minus 10, which is negative 5. For number 2, 2 times f of 5 means that I'm going to plug 5 in for x for the function. Three times 5 is 15, minus 1 is 14. So since f of 5 is 14, this is saying 2 times 14, which is 28. For number 3, find the value of the function when x equals 1. So this is like saying f of 1. When I plug 1 in for x, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. So f of 1 is 2. Find the value of x when f of x equals negative 6. All right, here's where we're not given a number for x. We're actually given that the whole thing, the f of x, the output, is negative 6. So that means if I've got f of x equals 3x minus 1, I'm going to substitute f of x in for negative 6. Negative 6 equals 3x minus 1, and I'm going to solve for x. So plus 1, negative 5 equals 3x, divide by 3, divide by 3, and I get that x equals negative 5 over 3. Find the input if the output is 0. Well, the output is just like saying f of x. So I'm going to plug 0 in for f of x. 0 equals 3x minus 1. Solve for x. Plus 1, 1 equals 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3. We're getting x by itself. So x is equal to 1/3. For number 6, find the range when the domain is negative 7. So domain is x. So if my x is negative 7, I'm going to plug negative 7 in for x and solve for the range, which is just like saying f of x, which is just like saying the output. These words are all interchangeable. Three times negative 7 is negative 21. Minus 1 is negative 22. Okay. So again, if you want to make note that for an example, f of 6 means we plug 6 in for x, but f of x equaling 6 means we are going to set the equation equal to 6 and solve for x. All right, and we're going to do a few more examples for when the function is represented as a table. So here's our table right here. Again, the domain or the input is our x, and then we have h of x, which is the output or the range. So in this case, we are looking for h of -1. So I'm going to find -1 is my x. So x is -1. So when x is -1, my h of x is 5. So my h of x, h of -1 is 5. H of 0, this is just like saying x is equal to 0. So I'm going to find 0 along the x. So here's my 0. So my h of x, when x is 0, is 9. Find the value of x where h of x is equal to -11. So if h of x is equal to -11, I'm going to go along the h of x to where I see -11, and my x value is 3. So I'm going to say x equals 3. Find the values of x where h of x equals 7. Okay, so if h of x is equal to 7, I'm going to go along the h of x. Well, here's 7, and one of my possible values is 2. But if I keep going, I've got another 7. So I've got a second possible value of -5. So when h of x is 7, my x is equal to 2 and -5. Here I want to evaluate 4 times h of 2. So I'm going to go along the x to find 2 because it's h of 2. So here's 2. So h of 2 is 7. Okay, so I've got h of 2 is equal to 7. So what I want to do is 4 times, I'm going to replace h of 2 in here with my 7. 4 times 7, and that's 28. Here I want h of -5. So I'm going to find -5 along my x. H of -5 is 7. So I'm going to plug 7 in for h of -5 up here. So when I plug 7 in for that, I can rewrite this as 7 plus 2. And 7 plus 2 is 9. Few more example problems to go. Here we've got h of 5 minus h of 4. H of 5 is 4. h of 4 is negative 8. 4 minus negative 8, or 4 plus 8, two negatives make a positive, gives me 12. H of 6 plus h of 3. So I'm going to go across to find 6. H of 6 is 10. Going across to find my 3. H of 3 is negative 11. So 10 plus negative 11, this is just like saying 10 minus 11. The minus rules overall. That's negative 1. Find the value of x, where h of x is equal to 10. So here I'm going to go along the h of x to find 10. Going along the h of x to find 10. Here it is. And my x for that would be 6. Last but not least, find the input when the output is negative 8. So output is just like saying f of x. So if my f of x is negative 8, I'm going to look at, or I could say h of x. H of x, I'm going to find the negative 8. Here it is. So my x for that will be 4. All right, so those are your notes for today. And the next thing you're going to do is the homework on pages 19 and 20.